Hey everyone, Never Let Go is a new film directed by Alexandre Aja and stars Halle Berry. This movie combines elements of horror, dark fantasy, and psychological drama that keep you guessing for reasons you may or may not expect. But before we dig into the mysterious evil that is hiding outside of Halle Berry's front door, be sure to give this review a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thank you so much. You make my day. All right, so the story follows an unnamed woman played by Halle Berry, known only as Mama to her sons Nolan and Sam. They live in the woods surrounded by a giant, great evil that has basically destroyed the world and is lurking outside the safety of their house, which is blessed by God and protects them. The only way they can stay safe is by maintaining a constant connection to the house, either by being inside of it or attached to it via these long ropes that are tied to its foundation. The trouble begins when one of the boys gets disconnected from the rope and the other boy starts questioning whether what they're experiencing is real or not. Never Let Go leans into some of the most compelling horror tropes to create this sense of the unknown that heightens your emotional reaction to generate fear and suspense. This is a common tool within the genre that gives the story a sandbox to play in that allows it to explore contemporary social issues through this distorted lens to give the audience just enough space away from the topic so that they can see it a bit more clearly. At the same time, the film also uses the power of metaphor, which is one of the fantasy genre's most effective storytelling tools. And it uses this, in this case, as a symbol to represent a hyper-realized aspect of our contemporary society in order to examine its impact on us. And it works so well because it is disconnected from our reality, giving us space to observe the different truths in ways that don't feel personal to us or like personal attacks on our beliefs. By combining these two genres, Never Let Go creates a compelling dark fantasy that will get you thinking about what's real and what's not based upon the information that you are given by others and your own experiences. They are upfront with the audience that Halle Berry's character may suffer from a hereditary, unnamed mental condition that warps the way she understands the world around her. Her mother also struggled with the disease, believing the world around them was being consumed by a great evil, forcing the family to retreat into their house within the woods to escape the danger. As the same condition happens to Halle Berry's character, she leans into her mother's vision of the world and brings her two boys to the house with her to escape that evil. And they essentially become trapped in her reality. Mental illness becomes the frame for informing her view of the world, redefining her reality in a way that allows us to examine the impact of how misinformation has altered her perception. This is how Never Let Go acts as a metaphor for today's problem with misinformation without taking a political stance on the topic, which is really nice. The film asks the crucial question, are the things Halle Berry's character sees real? Or does she believe in them so strongly that they've become her reality? We see that once she believes them, they are in fact real to her. And because of that, they impact how she navigates the world and reacts to those around her. For instance, she educates her children on how to stay alive in this horrifyingly microscopic space in the forest by making them believe in the evil. And they take that information as truth that defines their own reality and their actions. This compares directly to the way misinformation shapes our beliefs, influencing how we see the world and those around us. Misinformation can cause people to interpret identical circumstances in completely different ways, leading to drastically different outcomes. This film reflects the divisive nature of misinformation in society, showing how it can tear families apart, creating violence and suspicion that undermine the tightest of bonds. It also raises the question, is believing misinformation a form of mental illness? If so, can it be weaponized to make people act in desired ways, like Halle Berry uses to train her children to survive in the world as she sees it? As a result, the film seems to suggest that the only way to maintain unity within a family or a society is for everyone to continue believing in the same shared reality, even if that reality is a delusion. Halle Berry's performance is phenomenal. This role shows her in a new light, and she is absolutely compelling. The two boys who play her sons are also fantastic in their roles. It's difficult to carry a film with only three main characters, but this movie really achieves this by turning the house itself into a character, as well as by turning the evil presence lurking in the forest into a character that can then manifest itself in disturbing ways, making the film even more unsettling. As good as the film is, it stumbles in several ways. The biggest failure is in some of the manifestations that the evil presence takes, which make those characters look bit ridiculous rather than scary. It also overuses sound and shadow to create jump scares in order to startle you. But while this works, it's overused and feels like lazy tricks rather than effective storytelling. While the film starts to feel a little bit long toward the end, the overall pacing is actually well done because of how the tension builds and releases as the characters test the limits of their world around them. The interactions with the evil are always kept within reach as they venture into the forest, whether in daylight or darkness, making the setting visually engaging because you never know what might be in the shadows. This also applies to the house itself, from the exterior setting to the interior design and the sparseness of their diminishing resources, creating dire circumstances as their food supply runs low. Anyone who enjoys horror, dark fantasy, or psychological thrillers will likely find Never Let Go disturbing, but in a good way. If you are not a fan of horror or psychological drama, this might not be a good fit for you. The film keeps you guessing even when you think you know where the story is headed. The final scene ends exactly where you expect, but you can't help but to wonder how the experience within the house will translate into the future lives of those who survive it, and if they will be able to overcome psychological experiences. It expertly blurs the lines between what's real and what's imagined, leaving you questioning everything until the very end. This isn't a film for young children, despite the presence of two young boys in the cast. It will likely give young kids nightmares. So, Never Let Go. Have you seen it yet? If so, how did you think it compared to films like The Hills Have Eyes, Crawl, or even Horns, which were also directed by Alexandre Aja? Are you looking forward to watching it? If you have seen it, what did you think of it? What's your interpretation of the film? I believe this one is one of those movies that can be interpreted in many ways, and I'd love to know your thoughts. While my interpretation feels accurate to me, I'm really curious to hear what you think. Thanks so much, everybody. Don't forget, give this review a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos because there are definitely more coming. In the meantime, happy viewing, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.